Hello there, and thank you for watching this video. Unfortunately, we had some stupid technical issues and we couldn't stream this live. But fortunately, I have recorded the whole video so you can see how I use ChatGPT for my daily architecture work. I just did some examples, and also how I use ChatGPT to use the topics I work on for content creation that is valuable for others on LinkedIn, Twitter, or newsletters. This also can be used to make video scripts, and I will do further live sessions if you're interested in. Before we start, I want to remind you that also you can actually have live access to our real podcasts. There we manage not to have technical issues and ask your own questions to our guests. This can be a very valuable asset for you to develop your skills and knowledge in the field of architecture and design. So make sure to join the Real Insiders. Furthermore, you'll be shouted out in every single video we publish with our guests, and also you'll have a monthly call with the community. The topic of this month will be how to communicate online. I'll share with you all I know about communication online and how to build a fruitful and a useful online presence. Thank you very much. I hope to see you in the Real Insiders. It's just $5 a month. In case you cannot or you don't want to join the community, you can support the content for free by clicking like on this video and commenting below so that our content can go up the algorithm and reach more people. Thank you very much and enjoy what I think it's the right way to use ChatGPT. And of course, contact me on my social media after you see the video. Today, we're going to be doing a little bit of ChatGPT for architects. So we're going to cover how can you use ChatGPT in your daily life as an architect. It's not going to be involving exclusively, Revit or Rhino or stuff like that. We're not going to writing scripts for Python. But we can see how you can use practically ChatGPT for your daily life as an assistant. So we're going to cover different topics. I'm going to wait a couple of minutes for a couple of people to connect. And we're going to be covering then after the part about architecture, we're going to cover how to use ChatGPT as a content creator. And I think this is something good because even if you're not a content creator, it's good for you to build your online presence and to share on LinkedIn or Instagram or Twitter your expertise so that you can build a good, network for your future career or for new clients. So, this is it. We're going to be using ChatGPT 3, the free version. I don't pay for premium. I have applied for the ChatGPT 4, but I haven't got the access yet. So for now, we're going to be just doing the regular ChatGPT 3 free version, nothing special. So if you want, we can start switching to ChatGPT and see how it is going. So this is what you're gonna find in ChatGPT once you are in the software. It's nothing special. It's just a regular chat. It's an assistant, a bot that answers to your chat. And it is like a lot of people think working using ChatGPT. It's not using ChatGPT, it's working with ChatGPT. You have to start thinking that ChatGPT is a person. It's your personal assistant, it's your colleague, assistant, as you like to call it. And I think it's a great tool, specifically if you are, for example, an individual that's completely independent, like a person that works alone, or even for your daily life as a architect in an office or just as a creator. It's a great tool. So let's see For start, we can ask ChatGPT itself what you can use it for as an architect. So you can just do, hey, ChatGPT, I am an architect. How could I work with you at best? The great thing for ChatGPT is that you don't have to write perfect sentences, or even if you have typos, ChatGPT is going to understand what you're saying to it. So for example, for me, it's great because I just write whatever and I type it quickly and then ChatGPT creates. So for example, he says brainstorming ideas. You can use me to generate ideas and help brainstorm solutions for design problems. You can ask me questions related to architecture and design, and I can provide you with information and insights that may help you develop your ideas further. So one point would be brainstorm. So you can brainstorm together. So sometimes you need a friend or you need a colleague to brainstorm ideas. If you're alone, for example, it's great because you're independent and you don't have anyone around you. And then you can just go to ChatGPT and start writing, hey, ChatGPT, I'm thinking this, what do you say? And then he says something. The second point is research information. I can help you research various aspects of architecture and design, such as materials, building techniques, and historical precedents. I can also help you stay up to date with the latest trends and advancement in the field. So this, it's, again, you have to consider research as asking a colleague. So sometimes you have this common question in an office studio where you ask a colleague for like former projects or experiences they have made with certain products or with certain design solutions. And this is something, for example, that you can use ChatGPT for. We can try this later. So for now, we're gonna go through these three main topics, which actually are the main way you can use ChatGPT for your daily life in the architecture office. In their communication, you can use me to improve your communication skill by practicing your writing and presenting skills. You ask me to provide feedback on your writing or presentation style, and I can help you refine your skills. So this is also great. So these are the three main things. I've mainly used so far ChatGPT for communication, but you can use it also for researching information and brainstorming ideas. So let's start with communication. The great thing also of ChatGPT is that you can use it for multiple languages. So for example, for a person as me that I'm not a native speaker in English or native speaker in German, it's great because I can write also to ChatGPT just some short tips in the language, and he will generate for me the whole email or the whole document that I need. So let's start a new chat. Usually this is very tricky because with the free version, the chat, it doesn't work very well. But usually here you'll see your former chats and they will stay saved, and you'll have the past chats. But because I have the free version, sometimes they disappear, sometimes they reappear. So yeah, this is how it is. If you want, you can go to upgrade to plus, and it's $20, I think, or 20 euros. Let's see what it is. Yeah, so 20 euros per month plus taxes, something. So it will be like this. So one thing that you can use, so ChatGPT, it can be used part of an environment. So for example, I use ChatGPT together with a translation app or a dictionary and things like that. One thing that you can use ChatGPT is writing emails. For example, I have to write ChatGPT, write an email to Mr. let's say Phil that we are going to deliver all the facade construction documentation until Friday next week, as agreed in today's meeting, and we will redraft the details with Shuko Windows. So you can do like something like this, and you write just a sentence. You see, it took me like 30 seconds to write it maybe. And because when you write emails, you have to think so much because everything so formal. Yeah. So you need to think some formal language, especially if you're not native. For example, let's say you're Italian speaker as me and you live in Germany as me and you want to write a German email. You can just use the language, and ChatGPT can help you. So here, for example, he started creating the whole email. Dear Mr. Phil, I hope this email finds you well. I'm writing to confirm that we will be delivering all the facade construction in today's meeting. We understand the importance of the meeting deadlines. And see, so he adds all these nice sentences. Yeah, so he's like explaining some things. So for example, furthermore, we would like to inform you that we'll be redrafting the details with Shuko Windows. So for example, this is something that it's an error of ChatGPT, and then you have to change this sentence and say, I don't know, as agreed in today's meeting, we'll be redrafting the details with Shuko Windows. Yeah, so here you have to change a little bit the subject. So for example, you can tell him now, ChatGPT, this email is about project 2015. It's a number project that I just made up. Add this in the email text and email subject. So yeah, you can see subject delivery facade construction for project 2015. Dear Mr. Phil, construction, blah, blah, blah. So see, he can redraft things, and then you can give him further information. This can be something complicated for this. I'm just a simple email that I made up. But you can make, for example, for example, this is a decision template that you can decide to do. The decision provides. So, for example, sometimes in a project, write a decision template for project 2015. So option 1 is Shuko Windows, advantages, price, cost efficiency, and I don't know, durability. So yeah, for example, see, this is something that you can write your client when they have to decide something important about the project. I forgot to write an option 2. So sorry, I forgot option 2, which will be Windows from Vicona, advantages, flexible design solutions. These advantages disadvantages are that I don't know, more expensive. We suggest option 1. We need a decision. We need an officially signed decision as soon as possible. And then you can see what ChatGPT it's going to generate for you. So in generally, you can also write like explain the problem. So for example, now he's writing advantages, disadvantages. Option 2, he's just writing down this brand. Based on option 2, blah, blah. So he explains all these things. Please note this recommendation based on the information provided by we kindly request an official signed decision as soon as possible to proceed with the project planning and execution. So see, this is perfect. And even if it's not like exactly what you wanted, it's a great start, because usually you would start with a blank document and you won't know where to start from. And this is a great way to start. So this is one option that you can do for using ChatGPT in communication. One thing that you can do is, for example, we said research. So you can say, I am designing a small office building. I'm going to do it in another city, in Seattle. Let's say building in Seattle in the States. And I need to design I have to design a curtain wall facade. Could you provide me with 5 links of leading companies that produce curtain wall facades in the area? And then you can say, here I wrote this. So even if you don't write it perfectly, ChatGPT will understand what you mean. So this is a great advantage. So here you go, Walters Wolf, harmonic.com, Exterior Technologies Group. So if I go here and I say open link in new tab, it should work. And now we have building solution for concept to completion. And yeah, you have, for example, what we do, how we do it, career. So you can go what we do, and this is what they do, curtain wall, blah, blah, blah. See, and you can contact them. And there you go. You have Arizona, Texas, Washington is our area, and you have found the contact of this person. And this was with ChatGPT. And then you have 5. Can you give me 5 links of companies that could be the contractors of the curtain wall facades also in Seattle or in the area? And then he gives you 5 companies that can deliver this construction. You have to check the links. Selling. So, for example, I wasn't sponsored to show you this company. It's ChatGPT. Could you give me 5 companies that can be contracted for gypsum board walls in Frankfurt am Main, in Germany? We have a project there too. So you see, it's like a conversation. It's like here we have Hermann Otto, I don't know, Heidelberger Acoustic, Knauf Gibbs, Gibbs. So they give you these crazy websites, but you have to see that some of them, they don't work. Some of them work. So for example, this one work. Yeah, so this is how you can generate the links, the research. So for example, you can use this for interior design. I don't know. Can you tell me can you tell me 5 of the most iconic wooden chairs for like, let's say, dining chairs for an interior design project of a flat in Germany. And then he tells you here first, I don't know. And then you take this shit and you just say Whisper chair, search Google, and there you go. You have this chair, which is one of the most iconic chairs for interior design. You can go with a blah, blah, blah. They're all from the same production company. Oh, S chair, for example, this S chair. See, S chair, and you get the S chair, which is this one. So you get also to research this stuff. I need 5 design options for an office for 5 design 5 okay, I need 5 luxury design options for desk for the office of a big bank manager in Frankfurt. So you write him, you need these 5. So you need to be very precise, because if you give him, I don't know, give me design options for a desk for the office of a bank manager in Frankfurt, he'll give you, I don't know, maybe 5, maybe 10, maybe 20. He'll decide how many to do to you. So so let's see. This is something you can go and look for it, the Intarsia, and then you find the Intarsia desk, which is this one. You can use the Ruhrmann desk. So you can all Google these desks and check them. And okay, this one I don't find. Ralph Lauren, nope. The Ruhrmann desk. Okay, the torsion desk by Christopher Guy. So these are, so for example, this is a torsion desk. You can see it. The L-shape executive desk by Ash Holz. So you can look for this, and then you get all these desks. That this is the L desk, I guess. And it looks crazy, no? So you can have now 5 design ideas. Well, let's go back to now to see a new chat. Another great thing that you can help your, so for example, you have to do a presentation, right? So you have to structure the presentation for your, I don't know. I have to use the translator because sometimes I'm fit in German. So sampling, Bemusterung is sampling. So I am doing a sampling presentation for the office spaces of, I don't know, let's invent a company, Nike in Switzerland. Can you give me a structure and content of tables? Table of contents. So, for example, this is also a great thing. Sure, here, introduction, overview, Nike in Switzerland, objective of the office space, design considering proposed office space, benefits of proposed design, conclusion. And then he gives a structure, introduction, purpose of the presentation, brief overview of Nike in Switzerland, history of the Nike in Switzerland, current operation and business areas, organizational structure, objectives, key objectives. See, this is like you can start from there and then you can tell him, I don't know, we need a section on existing Nike office spaces as reference. So he will be like, absolutely, here a possible outline. 4, he put it in number 4. So instead of office space design consideration, existing like overview of current offices, location and layouts, features and challenges, analysis of so he can go, and so you can also tell me like summary of key points. So you can say the objective is to design more sustainable offices with LEED certification platinum. And then he'll change here structure, introduction, overview, and objective of the office space, sustainable office space design, proposed sustainable overview of Nike in Switzerland, sustainable office space. And then he'll do these things, and then you can combine all the results of the different chats. So see key factors of considering, analysis of existing office spaces, best practices, innovation, lead certification process. So you can, the more detailed you go into this phase, you can go further and further more. So this is also like an option, and he will write you very long presentations. See, good luck with the presentation. So this is so far, for example, design briefing. So we saw communication. This is research. This can be one option for design, but another option could be also, for example, I am designing an office space in Germany. Can you tell me what are the most used modules and grids for designing office spaces in Germany? Let's see what it says. So for example, this is a great way to blah, blah, blah. The most commonly used models, raster system or grid, 125 meters with office, 2.5 meters, bureau system or office, 1.2 meters can be combined different. So he can expand on this. So I can sell him, what about 1.35 meters? Yes, a grid system based on also commonly used design. This grid system is often referred to as the whole house raster or high-rise grid. The 35 grid system allows sufficient use of space and it's an accommodate standard. Can you tell me what the Raumpilot suggests for this space? So this is, I don't know, a very common book that we use here in Germany. It's similar to the Neufert, commonly international known. And you can do it like this. And now you have all the possibility of the Raumpilot flexibility, communication, sustainability, ergonomics, different times. Okay, so, but also you can research laws. So I am designing a high-rise office in Frankfurt, Main, Germany. See, I'm writing all with small letters just quickly without losing time. Which laws and regulations should I take in consideration for my architectural design? Probably it's full of typos, but I'm just typing quickly to show you that ChatGPT doesn't care. He'll understand what you mean, even if you don't perfectly. See, so designing involves compliance with several laws and regulations related to buildings, codes, zoning, safety standards. Building code, Bauordnung. So he will tell you all the stuff. And this is great because maybe you can write this, we'll do this at the end. So for example, you can try in English because it's your main language. And then you are maybe from, I don't know, Italy or France or somewhere else. So he'll give you some regulations that you have to take in consideration. And he'll generate. See, I didn't tell him. I tell him a question, so he will tell you all these things that are fire safety, zoning, building permit, building code. And I can tell you that some of this is true, this is true, this is true. It's all legit information. So we are testing legit information for architects, but we can do this for Seattle or for another. I took Seattle because it's a very far away, but we can do this later. So the environmental regulations, technical standards, for example, these are the DIN. We can test that later. And there are a few laws and regulations. And let's say, I don't know, you are, let's test. I'm Italian. So can you please repeat in Italian? And then he'll need a little bit of time because probably it's very busy. But there you go. He starts writing everything in Italian. And it's perfect Italian. It's not like something that it's not legit. It's perfectly written. It's not so precise. You have to double check some of the information, but it works. Codice edilizio, Bauordnung. So yeah, so even if you're, I don't know, whatever language in the world you're using, you can do that with ChatGPT, and I'm pretty sure he'll be pretty legit. Especially, I've never tried the number 4, the fourth version, ChatGPT 4. So probably it's gonna be even more efficient and accurate than any other translator. Anyways, it's the same thing in Italian. I'm going to stop generating because it's going to take too long. But what is great about ChatGPT is that you can quickly generate content also for your social media, because as a professional, you should be present online somehow. It doesn't have to be a podcast like this one, but maybe LinkedIn, it's a great place to create, or Twitter. So, for example, recently I did one of my posts on LinkedIn. You can check them. My most viral option, my most viral post. I can go in my profile. If you go into highlights, this post you can see here. By the way, if you want, connect with me on LinkedIn, follow TCI Podcast here on YouTube, or on Instagram, anywhere, on LinkedIn, where too. So this is the post I did for LinkedIn, and it has 25,000 impressions and 281 interactions, 17 reposts, 6 comments. So it's a great post. And I use it by doing Chat GPT. So let's say you are designing, I don't know, a near zero energy, so carbon neutral office building. Write a LinkedIn post with the 5 most important things in order to design an office building that is CO2 neutral. So you're probably working on this project, you want to write them down, but you don't have time. So you see, he started writing, attention all architects. Are you looking to design an office building? So he starts thinking something. We just told him the topic and what he should supposed to write. He writes these things. So energy efficiency, renewable energy, sustainable materials, water conservation, transportation. So you can tell him, one thing that you can tell him is change the information. So start the podcast, start the post for LinkedIn by explaining briefly the importance of CO2 neutral buildings and the workspace the workspace of tomorrow. So let's see. He will redo the post. He'll start it just differently. So let's see how it's gonna look like. It takes always a little while. Are you ready for the workspace of tomorrow? As we move towards more sustainable future, carbon neutrality has become an incredibly important goal in building design. By reducing or eliminating the carbon emissions associated with building operations, we can significantly reduce our impact on the environment. Carbon neutral buildings are designed to minimize energy consumption, incorporating renewable energy sources, and blah, blah, blah. In the workspace of tomorrow, carbon will be top priority. With the rise of blah blah, remote work is more important than ever to create physical workspaces that are not only energy efficient but also provide a sense of community and collaboration. Let's see what are, I don't think, so probably he didn't understand I wanted the 5 points. So it gets tricky because, so he didn't understand. Combine the last post you have written with the 5 points of before. And now I'm going to say something else. One great thing that ChatGPT can do is impersonation. So you can write in your poem, write everything in the style of Seth Godin. I don't know. We just take one marketing guy. So this is like attention architects and Are you ready to create a workspace of tomorrow? Carbon neutrality, but how we achieve carbon neutrality? Energy efficiency, renewable energy, incorporate renewable sources, sustainable materials, chosen material, blah, blah, blah. Transportation. Remember, building structures is the only important for the environment, but also for the workplace. So as we continue to prioritize sustainability in our daily lives, we know. So this is what he has written now. So let's say I've read this completely. We can tell him now to improve it by, so now add the fitting emojis and add hashtags in the end that will increase the visibility of the post. All hashtags have to be written without capital letters. This is important because he always writes everything with capital letters, and that's not a fitting way for making the hashtags correct. Energy efficiency, renewable energy, water consumptions, remember building carbon neutrality, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so here you go. You have this. And then you can tell him what could be a fitting image for this post. If you can give me 5 links of free for commercial use images. This is very difficult because sometimes, often the links don't work. The links that he provides you. Blah, blah, blah. So let's try to see if he has given us legit links. But yeah, so this is one picture. Let's see this other one. Yeah, I think they're random pictures actually. They're not really fitting the, yeah, so, or maybe they're, but for example, could be an image of modern office building. So for example, you can take modern office building, go to pixels and write modern office building. And here you have these office buildings. For example, you can use this building or this other building. You can all go also on Pixabay, for example, and not in the music section. And you can write modern office building. My Pixabay, it's in Italian for whatever reason. Or what is the other? I have in my favorite. The other one is this one. It's Unsplash. They have often the same images, but yeah. So for example, I like this picture. It says Unsplash, but this is Unlock. So let's say I like these images. I can download for free. Photo by Mia Becker on Unsplash. And now I can go back to my Chat GPT and I can take this text, copy it, and create a new post. I'm just gonna create a post. So if you guys ever watch this, after that I'll leave the post in the comments and we can check how the post performed. So what I would do when I'm here, I would do this. I'll fix it a little bit. So remember building blah, blah, blah. So here we have all this stuff. Now I can add my downloads, my image. Done. I can write the Pixabay thing here. Copy this. Say image by Mia Becker on Unsplash. So I've quoted Mia Becker. One thing, for example, I don't have here is that the energy efficiency and the other things that we have here. So, for example, I can take this and do it like this. I can do 1 energy efficiency, PAM. For example, this is 1. Then we can do 2 renewable energy. So we can, you have to steal, you see, it's like ChatGPT is your collaborator. It cannot do everything perfect. So we can go back to LinkedIn, paste this. Then I'm gonna move LinkedIn next to ChatGPT so that it's quicker. We take this, do this. This is 0.3, 4. Water conservation, conserve water by using water efficiency, harvesting, rainwater, recycling, gray water. So this is not supposed to be like, you know, the dissertation of your life. It's supposed to be 5 quick tips for anyone to get a little bit of inspiration. So transportation, blah, blah. See, it makes sense. Like, for example, encourage sustainable transportation by promoting public transportation, providing bike racks, showers, and supporting carpooling. So these are things that they can inspire someone to do a better project next time. So here we have everything. Encourage. And now we're going to select all this text to show you the next step. And I'm going to schedule the post for tomorrow I'm going to schedule it for another day. Let's say Friday because I have to post other things tomorrow. And I'm going to say, I always post around 8:30 a.m. or 9:30 a.m. So I'm going to put it for 8:30 a.m. on Friday. So if you watch this video by then and you want to see how this post has done, just, follow me on LinkedIn. I'll leave the link in the comments. And you can see how this post has performed. We just really did it with 3 prompts or something like that. So we do next. Schedule. We have scheduled a post. So we have 1 post for Friday. And it's scheduling. But why I copied the text? I copied the text for a big reason. Because one thing, it's you can copy this text and say, make a Twitter prompt from this text. And there we go. So in the meanwhile, LinkedIn has scheduled the post. So this post will be scheduled on LinkedIn. Let's see, Twitter. We're on Twitter. We have 2 notifications. By the way, if you're on Twitter, follow us. We are TCI Podcast _EU. This month we even have Twitter Blue. We have a new follower here. It's a very small account yet, but feel free to follow us on Twitter. I'm gonna link. You have all the links in the description of this episode of this live. So let's go back to our Chat GPT. Are you an architect? No. So he didn't understand. Make not a prompt. Make a Twitter sometimes thread out of this. So he'll know now that he'll need to make a Twitter thread. So tweet 1, 5 key points, blah blah blah. Tweet 1, energy efficiency, blah blah blah. He'll basically rewrite the same things. Four, 5, 6, 7. So I don't like the first tweet, so I'm gonna tell him make the first tweet more engaging and make it in the style of Chris Do. Example, let's try what is gonna be the look like. Sure, here's attention architects. Are you ready to design a workspace of tomorrow? Style tomorrow, blah blah blah. So we're taking this. Sometimes it's not perfect because just makes them too long. So in this case, it fits. Only the first 28 characters will be visible on the timeline. Okay, so oops. See, this is so we're gonna cancel this discard, and we're gonna say each tweet of the thread can be max 28 characters. Please rewrite the whole thread with the latest indications. Let's see what he'll do. I want him to rewrite the whole thing. So tweet 1, attention architects and designers. But sometimes it doesn't do it correctly anyways. So let's try. So he also keeps the. So let's see. See, it's still too long. It's annoying. You have to play around a little bit. Let's test the 7th. Looks also quite long. Let's copy the 7th and see how does it perform. See, it's still too long. Make the tweets of the thread further shorter without losing the point of the sentences. Yeah, maybe this is so you have to really conversate or play around. So sometimes he'll never understand what you need. So you really will need to do it by yourself. So let's start. So this is your tweet. Now it looks good. See, do the plus. Now we're gonna move Twitter here. So Twitter 1. There you go. Then you go to it's this. Then you go 3 is this, and then you go 4 is this one. So we're gonna just paste all of this stuff together. Tweet 7, this one. Let's hope this one is not too long. Doesn't look like it. And then we have the last one. And now you see that we have done this tweet and we're good to go. And we do tweet all, and Twitter, it's gonna tweet all the tweeters. Then we can, I don't know, I have this notifications, whatever. We can go back to home, and now we have to go to, I don't know, tweets are probably still sending, but we have tweeted them. So here you see the replies are there. So this is our latest thread. And you have tweeted and made a LinkedIn post on some topic that it's important to you. And now I can say, write a 5 minutes newsletter on this topic in the style of, let's try Bjorke Ingels. As architects, we have tremendous responsibility. So see, this is like what he thinks. Yeah, so he will expand more on this, and you can also tell him afterwards to give you the pictures and to expand on this point, and you can give him specific information for each point so that he will be able to do for you the exact thing that you want to have there. So yeah, I think this was it. This is how you can create different contents, different specific requests to ChatGPT, and yeah. So this is what I know about ChatGPT and how I use it. If you like this video, let me know in the comments, like it. And of course, if you think there were topics that weren't covered, let me know and I'll make sure to do another video. Thank you very much and see you soon again in this channel.